Welcome back, everyone, to the 2014 North American Challenger Series Round of 10. It's about time to decide the fifth and final team who will move on to their quest for a spot in the LCS. We've got Frank Fang Gaming taking on XVT Virtus.
And just to reiterate, this is not XDG.
Yeah.
It's going to be present in the round of 8. There you have two teams now, XDG Virtus and XDG GG.
Yeah.
They are the ones who had the automatic bye into the round of 8, which will be in 2 weeks. This is the round of 10 team, formerly Yumai Bay.
Yeah.
So they consist of iKennyU in the top lane, Proof of Payment in the jungle, mid laner is Bob Chin, and then they have Otter and Apexi in the bottom lane.
Yeah.
So this is a team of very high solo queue heroes and a lot of familiar names here. You know, iKennyU, he was part of the North American Collegiate Championship and was part of the team from the University of Washington and hailed from there, and they ended up winning that.
Yeah.
Basically off of his back, though, because he was a huge part of that. The catalyst where he was playing carry top laners was when their games flourished. And Proof of Payment was also there for the team that was from the University of British Columbia.
Yeah.
And they've also been around for a very long time. Kenny, Otter, and Bob Chin all played together in Infinite Odds.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of synergy. They have a lot of familiarity with each other's play styles.
Yeah. And it's a strong team overall, right? They're definitely really good. Picked up by XDG, of course, because they're so strong. They won their game pretty closely, actually. It was a 36-minute slugfest for them, so they don't come in as like stomping the opposition, but it was an upset win. They were seed 15 coming into this one, so they beat someone a bit higher up than them, and it's a close one to look at. On the other side, though, Frank Fang Gaming, a bunch of good players as well. Some of these guys you might recognize. Top laner is going to be Nian Tanso, actually. So, CLG top laner stepped down, decided he was going to try kind of get a fresh start. Still top laning, though, so Nian's going to be up there. Captain Ziploc, you guys might know from Cognitive Gaming. He played back in the spring promotion tournament. Yeah, when they took on Curse, this team took a game, but Ziploc, he renamed himself to Admiral Ziploc, by the way, on live.
Yeah.
You can't steal that from Azingi. That's not allowed. Even if Azingi lost in his match today, he's still the original Admiral.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But just because he's the original doesn't mean there can't be another one.
Nope. So there's only allowed to be one.
What if Azingi... All right, when Azingi retires,
okay, sure,
then it's up for grabs. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But until then, there are no other admirals in League of Legends. Not allowed.
You don't think he was demoted after that?
No, it's fine.
With 0.
It's fine.
Was it 08, 09? Okay.
Just blame the team.
Okay.
Junglers blame the lanes. Laners blame the jungler. It's gonna be okay. The rest of the lineup for Frank Fang, by the way. So Nian Tanso, Captain Ziploc, Baby Zeus in the mid lane, Latman on 80 carry, and Baby Eater. Pretty awesome name of support.
So. Yeah, they have Baby Zeus and Baby Eater.
Yeah.
Baby Zeus is the first person to hit Season 3 Challenger.
Yeah.
The very first person when Challenger was introduced, he's like, I'm just going to grind and see what I can do, and boom, got there first before everybody else. Now, Nian Tanso, talked about him a little bit. He's back. He's in the top lane, came off of the CLG roster voluntarily, but this might re-motivate him. He wants to climb up again. It's kind of like the Alex Each thing that's going on, where it's like, you know what? I want to reclimb. I want that feeling again of being motivated to go for something and to continue to push myself to be a better player in the overall and increase my champion pool.
Yeah, I think their motivations were pretty different, but yeah.
In terms of overall goal, in terms of motivation, I think is the big thing.
Sure, yeah. So Nian's definitely he actually, it's interesting because he wants to stay in the top lane. He's originally an AD carry player from way back 2012, 2011. Played mid lane for a while on the old I forget if they were Cloud9 at the time or whatnot, but he was with those guys for a while as a mid laner when they were Quantic.
Probably Quantic, yeah.
Yeah, but those guys kept changing names.
And High was
rosters. Yeah, right. It was High in the end of the mid lane. They had Wild Turtle, I think, at some point as well on the AD carry. So, that mix. He was a mid laner for a while. Went back to AD carry playing for Marn, and then went to the top lane playing for CLG, and he's like, this is now the role I'm going to play. So, we'll see how he stacks up.
And I want to watch that matchup too. The Nian Tanso versus iKennyU. Because Nian Tanso has never been the super hard carry top laner, when that is definitely iKennyU's style.
True.
So Nian Tanso, actually, he did play Yasuo though in the round of 20, which is something I've never seen him play before. He went 3-3-5. He didn't have the best performance on his team. He actually, in terms of KDA, had the worst performance on his team compared to everybody else. But I want to see, has he changed his play style?
Anyway.
It did draw a ban. They don't want him to have that. That is, dang.
Yeah,
that's pretty big there. Because they used the Yasuo-Lulu combination, which is very potent. You set up Yasuo all the time very easily, because he's going to get into the fight with his sweeping strike. You're just immediately in there. It's like, oh.
Get the knockout when you're ready. Yeah, it's a really strong combo overall. Jax also removes, so actually Nian's getting target banned right now from all his carry top laners, interestingly enough. Meanwhile, mid lane bans aimed at Bob Chin. So it's interesting strats from these guys that are attacking champion pool as best they can, but everyone else is going to get their best champs.
And I wouldn't quite call this kicking the puppy. I would just call this target banning somebody, because they have such diverse champion pools. You're just kind of taking the edge off of them, being like, we don't want you to play this, we don't want you to play that. So Siobhan over Nectin, still available for Neon Tanso. Ryze is still available, which is his most played. And I remember when Ryze was coming back to the top lane, it was basically drawing bans on all of the LCS.
Yeah.
Like, every time you're up against CLG, you have to ban Ryze against Neon Tanso, or else he's going to play it.
Well, it's not going to happen here. The Kazakhs being the last ban for this one, so Ryze is up. Plenty of bans aimed at the mid lane of their Bobchin, pulling all 3 from Frank Fang at Gaming. Hard name to say, by the way. I'm just going to call him FFG after a little while.
Yeah, Frank Fang is the name of their manager, who's also the manager of Denial.
Yeah.
He was the guy who started up the Mobifier Challenger Series and kickstarted that part of the Challenger Series.
And it was going to be a placeholder name.
Yeah.
They were going to find something else, and they're like, we didn't think of anything else. We're just going to name our team after you. Screw it.
On the latter, they were We Love Shakira.
Yeah.
So it was between We Love Shakira and Frank Fang Gaming.
It's a close vote. I don't know what you're going to go for. But, they chose Frank Fang. That's fine.
I like the snake, though. It's a good touch.
It is. Well, Kassadin first pick comes through for Baby Zeus, though. 4.6, pretty strong Kassadin.
He was known for his Kassadin play all throughout the ladder back in Season 3 and beginning of Season 4 as well.
Yeah.
He's kind of dropped it off for Ziggs and Lulu and things along those veins. But, yeah, this is pre-shield nerf Kassadin. So he has the 0.8 ratio instead of the 0.3 on his shield.
Yeah.
So he can deal with almost anybody in the mid lane. So, Ziggs.
Strong champ. And he snowballs really well. You go for generally Rod of Ages, what I see, and then you can go AP or tanky from there. I've seen Iceborne, I've seen Deathcap. And do what you can on that one. XDG Virtus. Again, one of 2 XDG teams in this tournament.
And here's the thing with iKennyU is they perform best for any team that iKennyU performs on. He performs best and then swings the team's momentum in their favor when he plays a carry top laner. If he's playing something tanky, it doesn't always work out. Like, Mundo is pretty good for him because it's that mix where he's like, I'm going to show up to the fight and just be something people can't deal with. When he's playing something like Yasuo top or Aurelia top, definitely does really well.
Yeah.
He's an extremely aggressive player. I've actually played against him. I can do a Kobe now, right? I can be like, I played against this guy. Played against him, and he creamed me with Fiora.
Yeah.
He's extremely aggressive, and that is his play style in lane. He doesn't play to go even, he plays to crush you. Against Neon Tanso, I want to see how he holds up against that.
We'll see who the Crusherizing in this one. It'll be a fun matchup no matter what. Lee's sitting the hover right now. It's in Nien's champ pool as well as Ziploc, so might see that be a flex pick for these guys. Corki the hover, no AD carries grabbed or banned. Looking for Corki for Latman.
So that leaves Twitch still up, that leaves Lucian still up. The Corki pick here for Latman over the Lucian, which it actually was picked up already, sorry about that.
Oh wow, I totally spaced on that one.
I jumped on your bandwagon and you led me into the fire with you, burning in a caravan.
Trolled, outplayed, did it. That was definitely not the case. Well, Corki Leeson grabbed up now. 35 seconds to choose for XVT. Aurelia top lane could be an interesting one. Ari, all these different hovers on. I'm just going to stop reading champion names. It doesn't matter. The Elise does come through for proof, though. And take that one just fine. Leave the Elise in to the side. It's okay. iKennyU has to blind pick, or kind of half-assume blind pick. It's top lane.
I don't know why they didn't pick their mid lane here up against the casting, because then you know what you're picking, unless they have something special in mind. Like, they want to, if they wanted to play in Italy, because it's banned out, they can't. Then you'd be like, all right, let's wait and see what type of engage they take, because then it's all on them. If they don't take a hard engage, we win. But now they get to pick whatever they want into that top laner, whereas they could have just picked their mid lane and then been against it. But we're going to have to see, because if it's something special for the mid lane, it's definitely worth saving.
Definitely true. We'll see what that ends up being.
But yeah, it is going to be Kenny on Aurelia.
Yeah,
of course. They're going straight with that.
Just carry top laner. Now they got to realize what Nian's going to play against it. Will it be Lee Sin in that swap to slow the attack speed, or is he going to pick something tanky just to deal with it? The hover being on Thresh and Trundle. Okay, so Jungle Lee Sin, Trundle up there in the top lane to fight against Aurelia. Pretty interesting matchup. And
Trundle does decently against her. He has a little more sustain. He can take some of her damage, but she doesn't really get tanky stats for Subjugate until third item.
No, it's usually second item. It's usually Triforce Tanky is the general build. We've seen adaptations, to be fair.
Oh man, I want to see the difference between the Aurelias in Europe and iKennyU's Aurelia.
Yeah.
Because everybody in Europe was like, all right, let's go ahead and grab the Trinity Force, and now Zephyr. Wait, Hex Drinker. Wait, just sit on a belt for a while.
Yeah.
All right, finally Aranduin's. So only one attack speed item there. Sometimes they went Zerker's Creeps.
True.
But usually only one attack speed item, and then like, do I want the Zephyr? And then some of them went for it.
Yeah, well, let's see what the build ends up being. 10 seconds to go for XVT to round out the composition. And this could be one of the reasons they're waiting so long. They're hovering on the Jace right now. It is in Bobchin's champ pool, and it is Jace. So there's the rationale there, as you hide the pick because it's something you're not necessarily going to be ready for. This team, very good at being early aggressive. Again, Elise Morgana in there, Jace and Lucian to get the push going.
And the lack of hard engage.
Yep.
I was saying if they were going to pick a Nidalee, then you wait for it for last pick, but there you go. You go ahead and pick the Jace, and this bullies Kassadin mid lane like no other. His shield is worth nothing against you because you don't do any magic damage.
Yeah. Well, in melee form you have a little bit, but like, yeah, nothing that's
Thundering
meaningful.
Blow and your lightning
field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
But generally speaking, no, I say it to be technically accurate, but you're right. All the major Jace damage is physical.
The damage he's going to be doing to Kassadin throughout the laning phase is going to be physical damage until he tries to all-in him.
Yeah.
That's basically it. That's the only time that he would ever be close to him. So.
Yeah. So the only ways for them to engage fights is going to be Thresh and Lee Sin. The only, I mean, you can Trundle Pillar and try to catch up. Like, it's weird because I feel like so I'm thinking about this comp, right? So we don't see Kassadin much. We see him sometimes, right? We see a fair bit of Kassadin, but we don't see a ton of poke comps and Kassadin together. So I'm like piecing it out in my mind how these fights go, right?
Okay.
So there's two main ways to beat a poke comp. Oh, I guess three it could be. But in an actual fight, it's hard engage or a flank.
Yes.
Because you either are stuck there or you can't get away.
A good flank.
A good flank, yeah.
Some
if you walk in
flanks
and
don't go-
die, that's just giving away a kill 1v5.
Team, please respond.
Yeah. Well, you TP'd on top of them. What do you want from us? Great. So a good flank. The thing is, you've got Kassadin and you've got TP Trundle. You've got these tools to get around behind them and make random things happen. And you've got Thresh hooks to try to make plays happen as well. So there's a smattering of like, I don't know if that's the right word.
Smattering just sounds good.
You've got a smattering of like could be really good tools. The Kassadin, again, AoE slow, like a 6-second cooldown, you can get it back up pretty easily. Again, you have the hook, you can maybe land it. You have the Lee Sin going for the kickbacks potentially. And if you can outplay a Black Shield, then you are going to get that engaged. So if you can get it, then you've got the way into the poke comp.
Yeah, I can see that. And the fact that the poke comp actually has more synergy in it too with Aurelia, because you don't always have somebody who helps Aurelia engage. The acceleration gate is going to be big for her.
Yeah.
Because Aurelia's gap closer is I'm going to run at you and then I'm going to Blade Surge to something near you, kill it, and then continue to have my Blade Surge so I can possibly get out.
Yeah, preferably.
Or that's like the best case scenario, right?
Yeah.
But I have to see how this shapes up for them. All wards start here for Baby Eater.
All right, so vision game definitely the case for these guys. See if it pans out for them. Thresh one of those champions where it's interesting because I feel like he's just squishy enough that if you start without like a Runic Shield or like a Doran Shield or a Ruby Crystal, you're actually pretty pokeable. So it's a slight risk if he goes on 2v2 with this kind of build.
And here's the thing with Thresh is that all of the gold generation items are a little awkward on him.
A little bit.
You don't get the execute off the Relic Shield. You have to wait.
Yeah.
And then it's effective later on. You don't really get anything from the Spell Thief's Edge.
No, you'd never buy that.
And if you're gonna go for the is that the
coin?
Ancient coin?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to throw the ancient in there too.
Okay.
Get the ancient coin. You lose out on lane stats, combat stats.
Yes. And
you're very easy to destroy.
Vital for him.
Yeah. So at that point, you're pretty much like, all right, I need HP. Doran Shield, or do I get a Ruby Crystal, or do I get do I like cut my losses and get the Relic Shield?
Yeah, and that to me, like, I think the two main builds. So obviously, he went all consumable, so he just wants vision for the team. And if it's a 2-on-1, he bypasses the entire thing and he's fine. But to me, the two main GP10 starts are Ruby Crystal and Relic Shield. Relic Shield, honestly, to me, is not that bad because you don't get to auto your opponents that much, so your flay is typically stacked, and because you almost always run attack damage marks, and many people run 9 points in offense on Thresh, they're gonna start the game with like 65 AD, do another 60% of that with their with the flay passive, and as you get souls, that even goes higher. So you're getting like 100 damage for your executes, which honestly, if you're Leon, it's like 250, and this is like 100. Like that's not bad.
Yeah, it's
Like
it's not
pretty reasonable because people rune in mastery for the ability to last it a little bit better with him and just the trades in general. But it's a good synergy.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you get basically. You could also just go Ruby Crystal, and I think it's a fine start because it's basically a GP10 because your first back you'll afford a Sight Stone, and that's fine. You can go for Sedum Sight Stone on support as well, and that both those give you the health stats to win an all-out trade, I think.
Yeah, it's just that people were taking so much of the coin at the start,
yeah,
and then they realized, well, if we're going to be doing lane swaps, or if there's a possibility of a lane swap, then I utterly get destroyed in the lane because I have no combat stats. I have regen based on what dies around me.
Yeah. And so the fact that the other ones got buffed as well, like the poke from the Spell Thief is good enough to push people out, and here we are.
Another thing to note is that this is pretty much an all physical damage composition here from XVT Virtus. And you can already see Baby Zeus and Niantanso taking the cloth armors.
Without skill.
You can also see where
that
there's 5 members camping in this bush here for Frank Fang Gaming.
Yeah. I want to see if actually Proof does go for like a Magic Bend build, though.
He's dancing his little spider butt off.
Yep. But yeah, I want to see if he goes for Sword Quantum.
He's twerking for us.
Oh, dear, no.
No, at least he's twerking right now. That's what Proof's doing.
Stop.
Tell him to stop. I'm just pointing it out.
You don't have to. Yeah. Well, there we go. Spiderling comes out. Kenny.
Oh, but here comes the rest of the team.
Oh, man. He is alone. FFG going to get that invade pretty easily. There we go. Trinket over the wall to see if Elite's going to be around. And they're going to pull it down far enough to be out of smite range. They should anyway. Wow. He risked that one. The Spiderling was there on time. Ooh, nice. Nian's back gets stopped as well.
Yeah, if that was a TP, it would have been interrupted.
True. But everyone recalls first to get like 3 more potions, so.
Yeah. But
actually, he can't. He's already at 5 pots. It's useless. He got his health back up.
Yeah. And now, it's a bad start for Proof of Payment. He's going to be a little bit behind here. And he has lanes that you want to push the advantage with Jace as much as you possibly can. Aurelia, she's going to miss out a tiny bit at the start, but it's really this bottom lane and this mid lane that you want to pay attention to as the jungler.
We'll see right now, though. Proof is going to be done with his level 3 on the top side of the map. And he's even doing double golem, so he's even in position for a lane gank if he wants it. Nice rethrow on the lat man.
Yeah, he's going to be out of mana, though. Like, he's going to have just a tiny bit because he didn't get a blue.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
It really messes up your gank timing.
We'll see Trinkets used now in the river. Of course, Kenny is the one who's pushing in towards the turret right now. Apexi, nice bind again, but takes some damage back for it. Flay going to be dodged away by Otter afterwards.
And now basically just a clear here for Proof. But mid lane, look at that. Baby Zeus is just taking a whole bunch of beating here. I'm surprised, like, he hasn't been poked out completely just yet, considering the matchup is heavily in favor of Jace. They both brought Ignite. They're both looking for blood. No TP on the Kassadin.
He's losing a lot of health for this one. He's running out. I mean, he's got potions still in that cloth armor, but yeah. Lane's getting rough. He's equal in CS, though, to be fair. So yeah, he's losing gold, but...
CSing well under turret. That's the thing with Jace, is that you pretty much sacrifice CS for harassment.
A lot of times, yeah.
A lot of the time. You'll walk up and you'll be like, if you're going to poke that and get that CS, I will kill you. I'll miss a CS, but because there's no TP, he won't get back to lane when he eventually pokes him out.
This is interesting. FFG just put down a pink ward in lane. Now, usually for me, that signals, hey, we're going to get lane ganked, but they want to make sure there are no wards here to see if they can Captain Ziploc in. There's no wards in the river either. They could find this trade. If I'm XVT, though, you can't play aggressive here.
But Proof is actually coming around at the same time. And if they see this, oh, good dodge there.
All right, Baby Eater not getting the hook on in. Captain Ziploc shows, and Proof is like, well...
Ziploc's going to come up this way. He's going to see
check.
it, but he can't do anything about it. He's a level down and a buff down.
Yeah, so doesn't even try for that one at all. I mean, he could have Cocoon Spiderling, but would rather actually not even show himself.
No, at that point, it's a moot thing to do.
Yeah.
The fact that the blue was taken away and he didn't even get to counter blue was huge, because Ziploc went straight to his blue afterwards and then picked up his red later.
Nian and Kenny, though, in a bit of a battle there. Nice pillar goes down. Nian, good damage comes out. Flash forced, one more auto. Not enough damage. Nian does not quite get that kill. Nian
does have potion advantage right now, so he'll start pushing this wave up, and as he's clearing it, he'll get a lot of HP back. He'll be about half when Kenny has about 300.
And this is risky. Kenny, I guess he knows he can't get dived now because there's a lack of flash, and there's just so much risk on that one, but he doesn't recall back. He's going to throw this wave before recalling and using his teleport, which will give him a couple hundred more gold on the recall. Be useful for him. Captain Ziploc still just farming out with his tier 1 jungle item. He's going to be all right. First recall comes back for the mid laner. Bobchin does go for a tier. Same for Baby Zeus.
You know what's funny is that flash forward from Niantanso was actually good if he had a Doran's Blade.
Yeah.
It would have been a kill there. I don't know how often he does the potion cloth armor start on Trundle. Because like that's kind of fallen out. But here's the gank from Proof on the Zeus. And ooh,
good flash. The
damage
coming through. Ignite is on one more.
It's not gonna be
enough damage. Baby Zeus stays alive. Shield from Ziploc just to be safe, but hey, Summoner's down there. Both trading too.
Yeah, Baby Zeus used his flash. I would say defensively.
Yeah.
I would say he'd also use his Ignite defensively.
Pretty much, yeah.
Get away from me. Take fire with you.
There you go. Got him out of that one. So, it's good. Latman, Baby Eater, 44 to 45 in CS. Very equal matchup here in this one.
Double tiers in the mid lane.
Yep.
Here's the tier onto the Jace. He's going for the late game here, which is understandable because you have Aurelia on your team. This is not the same type of Jace that you would have seen where he picks up so many blades, so many long swords for himself because he wanted to push early. This is a Jace that's looking to get the Manamune as quickly as possible, stack that up, get the Muramana, and then go ahead and be in that 500 range of people.
No trade found right there by FFG, but they did push the guys back a little bit. Once again, we're just seeing like really good bindings by Apexi, though. I think he's playing absolutely phenomenal, and with neither of these supports having backed yet, he's just getting gold that Baby Eater is not. The longer this goes on, the more gold this team accrues. I mean, despite the fact that the game is still really just equal in gold overall, Apexi's like the one guy with the lead.
And here's the thing too, is that there's actually 200 gold difference between the junglers right now because of the CS.
Yeah,
it's been accumulated, and that's made up completely by the fact that Bobchin has about 100 gold over his opponent, and then the gold generation item in the bottom lane.
He's 150 up. That's support. AD carry is pretty much identical. All kinds of fun things here. Okay, so teleports were used actually by Kenny here in the top lane to get back to lane. Not the case for Nian. It's a small level lead though for the Aurelia because of this. The trade goes in. Big damage, Nian. He's got to be careful. The dash on in. First blood, yep. The level lead turns on the W, gets the trade.
He is so aggressive in lane, and here's the thing. Is Niantanso backed, got a Vamp Scepter, some wards. Kenny sticks it out, backs, full Bilgewater Cutlass. More combat stats by a large amount. And the fact that that active on top of it helps Aurelia so much with the slow that he's able to come out big after that one. That's just a playstyle too. I wanted to see how this matches up, and it looks like Kenny is going to get that snowball for his team starting going.
I gotta say, the fact that he bought that recall with his teleport to recall only when he had enough gold to buy important items, whereas Nian just recalled because he had a big push, was a really good choice. He cashed in that teleport basically on that item. It was great.
It's that little economy of top lane. Who has their teleport up? Who used theirs? How do I abuse that? What did they buy? Because like bottom lane, it's kind of like, oh, they backed early and got a Vamp Scepter. I back later, get a BF sword.
Yeah, it'll cost you your TP or you're losing XP, but
the fact
was the right call.
He immediately pushed it when he got back to lane.
Exactly.
He's like,
he was level 7.
He's like, I know the potential that my champion has, and look at that. Ziploc's already here to try and even it.
He's in the fight though. Ziploc gonna be kicking him back. Kenny, you now. Can he get away to the right spot? There's a minion to jump to, but his Q is on cooldown. So just damage. The trophy comes out as well. Looks like he cannot get away. Niantanso picks a kill back up.
It's a good counter gank there, and now they're gonna get a lot of damage on this turret, but at the same time, that tells XVT that they need to go ahead and get this dragon for themselves because they have to cut their losses.
Absolutely the right choice though, and of course the bottom lane wasn't winning hard enough for FFG to prevent that, especially when you've got to, consider it's Chase versus Kassadin top, like in the mid lane. You're gonna have the push lead there. There we go, FFG, they stay in the top lane. Smart choice by Ziploc to get that turret down. And we're back to an equal game.
Yeah, and the flash wasn't up for iKennyU, and that was communicated to Ziploc, so he knew that that was where he was going to gank. And the fact that Kenny's so aggressive, I said it before, he's legendary for being a very aggressive player. He's number 10 in Challenger.
Yeah.
He goes to crush lane. He goes to jump in and destroy you and then snowball the game from there. These are solo queue heroes all across the board for XVT, making a team, and their individual skill is extremely high throughout all the lanes. But the fact that if you learn somebody's playstyle like that, and you know he's going to try to kill me again when I get back to lane. That's how you do it as a jungler. You camp it. You wait for the moment. And you're like, oh, I read it.
Look on the Otter. Black Shield actually broken by the Corki. I actually like that.
Here comes the jungler, though.
Big damage. Can he get the Lantern? Does not. He just goes right down. Didn't even need the jungler.
Proof is just there for moral support. I said, you know what? I'm here, you guys. And now they're going to go straight for this turret. They're going to leave Kenny in the top lane. His TP is up now, but here is Niantonso in the bottom lane.
Baby Eater goes for the Flash Flame, pushes them backwards, though. And now he's taking a whole bunch of damage. He's going to give his life for that one, but here comes Nian. Is it going to be enough? Picks up Pexi back. The trophy's down as well. The Morgana's still getting away. Flash forced. Burns the kill picked up. Now Kenny's there. Ziploc just going to get away from that one.
So 1 for 1 in the overall. Kenny takes about half his HP. And now that wave up top is actually continuing. It's going to continue to push against each other. I actually think, just by looking at it, that it's in favor of
FFG's
FFG.
wave's bigger.
Yeah,
100%.
FFG's going to push that in. So that's really good for Kenny.
Damage from Nian, also pushing Proof back away. So the thing is, he's not going to get there. I'm not sure if he's going to get there in time. If he's going to be able to. With Teleport being down, that minion wave might go to waste. He shows up mid, or the fact that Cassidy's low, and they already saw the guys in the bottom lane. So XVT, they're making really good snap judgments here, seeing what's open and making big snaps.
Meanwhile, mid lane got completely poked out. And now Kenny's still there, though. Okay. I was like, he's not going to go for that, is he? No.
Not in this case. Ziploc shows back up to the mid lane, though. Nian's there as well. They're going to hold this lane for a little while. Aurelia making her way up there. Batman finally dodges the binding. But yeah, Pexi is just, I think he's playing phenomenally this game. He's landed so many bindings overall. It's allowed his team to actually set up some great things. And the cool thing about this is, we've talked about Morgana at least before, right? And how much it's good at picking people off. You've also got such good follow-up with culling and shock blasts that those guys are probably going to die when those bindings hit.
It's such a good synergy between those two champions. It's a little ridiculous with some CDR behind it.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, because you can literally lock somebody up for, oh god.
You have small downtimes,
it's like
but
8 seconds.
Yeah, you have like 80% uptime on
yeah,
CC.
If they don't have Merc treads, you just CC lock them. It's no fun.
Pretty rough. We're going to see him looking for it again. Flay comes in, does land on the Otter. He's got nowhere to go. Latman's got to be careful. Exhaust burned to keep Corki alive, and the kill's picked up.
Ended up using the culling there, too, at the very end. Just got about a shot out of it.
Yeah.
But he was exhausted at the time. So it was definitely a good save there by Baby Eater. No dragon for them to profit off of it, but now they're going to start putting some pressure on this bottom turret. It's going to call Proof of Payment to that lane.
All right, let's see what they get with this one then. Proof going to take that camp down. No big deal. Does go Golem to start things out. He's going to be defending this turret. Looks like actually no real push coming in, though. Baby Zeus actually going to make his way up the lane. Does get pinged out.
Yeah, and we see that Bobchin's actually making his way up there. Baby Zeus hanging out on the side. They have a pink ward there, so they know that he isn't seen. They're going to see Bobchin with this, though, and they're going on Kenny.
They're going for Kenny. Kenny at half HP, trying to pull his team in to defend this one in time, but he's losing so much HP, he goes down. Now the re-engage. Baby Zeus jumps away, and the Lantern, not Lantern, but Trophy, sorry, is there to keep him safe. Now Bobchin, not in exactly the best spot. His gate is down. He's got very little things to do. Niantonso picks up another kill. That was not the best counter gank.
That's Cassidy just getting away, and now the jungle is forfeit because there's nobody here who could reinforce it if Proof went for it. So they're going to have to give up this red buff, and Niantonso is now 4-1 in this game.
Absolutely great play with this guy, man. 4-1-0. Did give up first blood 1v1, but the rest of the time he just set up kill after kill after kill. FFG making it look good.
Well, they ended up realizing how aggressive of a player IKNEU is, because he's like legendary for being aggressive. And then you play against him, you're like, wow, he really is aggressive all the time. Like right there, pushed up, no turret behind him, no ward coverage, and they were pinging. Bobchin was pinging basically what was going on. Proof is face checking this too.
Oh my gosh, so much damage. Kicks him back into the Lions, does the repel, but no buffs up from Trophy. Not quite going to lock him out. Proof's going to get away.
Locks himself out of that one.
Yeah. All right, so 600 gold game to keep this in mind. It's actually very close overall in the trades. And right now, XVT, they've been punished for being aggressive. Their mid lane sort of winning lane has been turned around. It's a 5-6 CS difference now. Cassidy survived that phase very successfully, Baby Zeus. And it feels like the team that's going to outscale. So if you're FFG, I feel like you're really happy with how the game's going right now. XVT, they have the ability to siege. They're just not doing that right now. And I think maybe that's predicated by the fact that they need their split push to actually win to create pressure, but that's not happening right now.
Yeah, we see Kenny still has a CS advantage, but Trundle versus Aurelia is kind of an in-the-air matchup in the late game. Aurelia will most likely take it home depending on... No, actually, no, Trundle has a ton of attack speed. It's going to be head-to-head. It's really just going to be... Nobody just wins that matchup because they selected a certain champion.
No.
Because there are some matchups where you're just like, oh, that champion just beats the other one later. Or this one beats this one.
Sure, yeah.
Like Renekton will beat Jax. Kenny get ganked again.
Once again, taking a whole bunch of pain. The Lantern. Why do I keep saying it's a Lantern? It's a trophy. The slow again coming in from Kassadin down into the turret. Sure, why not? Neon Thompson takes up all the damage. Once again, XVT, they grab the Dragon for it. So they're making them pay for the top lane ganks. But actually puts it back in the gold lead.
Yep. The Dragon is worth a lot right now. And Kenny, he's becoming worth less and less. Every time he gets killed, it's not going to be as profitable to go kill him. Maybe you should go beat the kill.
I guess in Season 4, though, there's the rules where if you get 1,000 gold from minions, it resets 1 death.
Ooh.
So, like, I mean, assists are already -1 death, so if you're like 077, you're worth 300 gold.
When was that?
So the assists have been in for like 2 years.
No, I'm talking about the
Season 4. I'm pretty sure it's Season 4 or like late Season 3. 1,000 gold from CS equals -1 death.
Where was that patch note?
Into the Season 4 patches. Read him, bro. Here comes the gank on the bottom lane, though. Apexi, low on help, a ziplock in an even worse spot. Kicks him back in, but he's going to fall. Stun and the kill picked up. Teleport in from Kenny as well. No assist, but he's there.
Yeah, that's true. He's there. Go ahead and try to push this out. They already got Dragon for themselves. They're in the gold lead by about 400. Definitely the closest match we've had all day.
Oh, yeah.
And both teams don't really have too much to worry about when it reaches the late game. I mean, Kassadin and Trundle were very, very good with their Lee Sin, their jungler falls off. At least does a lot better. And now it's Jace, who has tier into the Manamune, so he's going to be doing well. But then it's also an Aurelia. So both teams scale extremely well in the late game.
Oh, baby.
Oh, he's looking for another. He's looking to punish.
Go in. There we go. Bob's taking a bit of damage. Looks like turret aggro's on Nian. He's going to take the turret down first. And now Jace, does he have anywhere to go? He does have Flash. He can find his way out of this one. No mana on Nian. Bobchin, though, 200 health. Q's over, gets slowed down, flashes, but he dies to the golems hitting him in the face. Another kill picked up for FFG.
Blowing your flash and still dying for it is really rough.
Yeah.
Especially against this team that has so much to get to you, and Jace's only gap closer is running away. Or gap creator.
Yeah, I mean, you can try to knock you out, you can try to run through an acceleration gate, but when you can blink back on top of him, not going to work so well. XVT did get the bottom lane turret off of the earlier gank there, though, so it does keep the gold in a pretty close situation. But FFG got tier 2 top. Can't exactly be sad about that one.
No, not at all. But the thing is IKU now has a free wave farm. Bobchin can also go ahead and sit there. But Neon Tanso, he's not the type of person to sit on all this map control. He's going to make something happen. He has his teleport available. He's extremely big, so if he shows up somewhere, I think he can 1v1 anybody on the map comfortably right now.
Yeah, I don't think we would beat him up right there. Definitely not going to be Aurelia unless something miraculous happens.
He has the Warden's Mail already. Yeah, so he's good in terms of that and slowing her down. Ooh, yeah, no.
Well, Ruin got done, so there's a chance that this is a spike that's good enough for Kenny U.
That's true.
We'll see. More longswords picked up there. Bobchin still trying to scale through his build. No Brutalizer or Last Whisper done just yet. Just the Manamune. Early pick up there to keep the stacks going. Otter right now is up a Sheen in item build because, heck, having 2 kills is pretty freaking nice. And the 2 dragons, of course, helping the team out as well. Ziplock does not find his way into the battle just yet. FFG gonna keep waiting.
Now they're grouping up in the mid here. Lucian is off on the side, but the AD carries aren't involved in this fight at all if one breaks out. They're just gonna be farming the bottom, doing their own thing.
Okay, so the siege. Without Lucian, it's not the best siege right there. It's just kind of some poke and then mediocre turret damage. Kassadin, by the way, maxing E then Q. 5 points E, 4 points Q, 1 point W. So actually, that's the worst base damage abilities, but
well, there's no reason for him
more consistent
to put the points into Q.
Sure.
Like, he'll harass a little bit, but the shield isn't going to help him against Bobchin. Oh, they caught Otter and Neon Tanso out, actually.
Gets the black shield, though. Neon's not exactly the best spot right now. He's going to try to run back through. The team gets stunned up by more. Can he get the lantern? Yes, he can. Flashed for it to make sure he could get out.
That was pretty big for Nian Tanso. That was really far extend.
Wow, that shock blast nearly caught the Trundle and picked him out right there, but it wasn't the case. But TP is available for Trundle, so he can use it to get back in the lane. Big wave top lane that might be picked up, and this siege mid's going to work for XVT.
Gonna go ahead and concede that tower, and the fact that they have a Jace, you can do some decent amount of damage to this.
Ooh, the bind going to land big damage on the ziplock, kind of forced back on this one, but the re-engage, Kenny, you forced away on this one. The Proof also pushed back, at least low on health. Baby Zeus goes in for a slow one more time. Doesn't have a lot of damage just yet.
Poke him out on the retreat, and Baby Zeus will once again go in.
Jumps in, finds the kill on the first one. Can they keep chasing? There's Nian off on the wings as well. Big damage comes through. Wow, Latman finds one back. 3 kills so far picked up, make that 4 kills. Only Proof alive, 4 for 1 FFG, and they go towards Baron.
They were trying to peel away, but it's just all this poke from Latman, and the fact that Kasten has so much stickiness, and Nian Tanso TP'd into the side of the fight, and now they get a Baron and a triple kill for Baby Zeus.
That is all kinds of wonderful now for FFG. The jungler, to be fair, is alive. There's no wards in the pit. He's got a guess on this one. Does have a ward in inventory. Baron then half HP. Proof will be there in time. He's been spotted out. Baby Zeus goes in for a bit of a trade. Good damage through the hook. Not going to land, nor will the Elise in queue. That's going to be Elise forced to run away. Baby Zeus finds him. Guaranteed dead jungler. And the Baron's going to be theirs as well. Pretty much for sure. How good is this fight going to be? Apexy's there. Baby Eater almost going to die. That's a kill picked up. Wow.
Man, if that shock blast was a little to the left, that would have been really
That would have
scary.
been a miracle turnaround. That would have been the gold.
Wow. Kenny TPing bottom just to keep it alive and get the CS for himself. And now that the Baron buff is on FFG, it's a 4-1-6 Nian Tanso in the top lane.
Yeah.
He has his own Blade of the Ruined King completed. Now, XVT, they're going to get a dragon for themselves to try and close this gold gap just a little bit, but it's the temporary combat stats that's really going to help them out from the Baron buff.
Sure. So, by the way, quick pause in the game if you didn't realize. We're going to get back into the game before too long. Don't worry about that one. Yeah, and here's the weird thing, right? It's like, it's weird how the scaling works because Baron is worth a flat amount of gold no matter when it is in the game, right? It's always the same amount for your team, 1,500, 300 per person. Dragon is interesting because, but also the combat stats on Baron scale up. It's not 40 AD and 40 AP if you kill it right away. So it's only like 22 minutes into the game. So it's a lower value of stats for what that's worth. Dragon, interestingly enough, actually does scale in terms of gold per person. So it's a 20-minute dragon, which is like a level 11 or 12 dragon. Is not the same amount. Maybe it's like 200 per person, something around there. So the gold value is actually pretty significant compared to the combat stats that Baron's going to give you. In general, I mean, yeah, okay, it still matters, of course, especially when the game is close, but at this point in the game, it's actually more of a gold objective. And so it's a big gold swing, actually, for FFG that's going to do not necessarily more than the combat stats, but just as an anecdote, hey, more gold.
And we'll see exactly how much it is here. 237 for Jace, 212 for everybody else.
All right. So yeah, about 200 gold versus 300. Definitely a bit of a difference there. Of course, with one guy already dead, it means only 4 Baron buffs for FFG, but not exactly horrible.
I'm trying to see how much AP it's giving.
I think it's 29. Corki had 54 AP with a Sheen.
Ah, right. 29. Okay. Yep. Yeah, so I believe it starts at
less
20.
Than half. Yeah, it's 20 to 40 based on
it goes to 40. Now they have all these temporary combat stats for themselves. In the mid lane here, that's a wave gone. Zeus is just getting pretty big though. He's 603. He already has the Seraph's Embrace completed. Rod of Ages going up. He's definitely ready for this next fight.
Okay, well, let's see what we got with this one. Of course, FFG feeling good. They can siege the poke comp. That'd be fine. Nian will keep split pushing. There is no teleport advantage. Both have it down, but heck, if I'm FFG, I'd like both top laners to chill bottom lane. Just have Nian win this one. Looks like he'll be given the turret. He's given the space to take it down. Instead, XVT actually wants to siege with all 5. FFG will play defense with his Baron buff. Hook will land at a Kenny. They go for a little bit of damage there, but not too hard. It's a 4v5 after all. Trundle now on tier 2 turret.
And he takes turrets extremely quickly. You can chomp them. You can put down your Frozen Waste. Or Frozen Domain. And pick it up. Look at that. Kenny's being aggressive.
Tails Kenny as well with a black shield on top of that one. Slows don't mean too much. Latman forced away. Trundle still pushing. FFG just forcing their opponents away right now. Shock Blast missed.
It's a 4v5 and you force them away while getting a free turret off on the side.
Oh my gosh, he's going to get down. 1 kill, maybe 2 as well. He's going to jump over, run on top of the other people, but yep, double kill there for Kassadin. Baby Zeus getting big.
They just got 2 people out of a 4v5.
Yes, they did. And 3 turrets right there. Mid-outer is gone. Baby Zeus finds more damage onto Apexi. This fight is going rather well for Frank Fang Gaming. Looking now for the inhibitor turret, Neon Tanso. Doing so much damage there. Baby Zeus showing up as well. Make that 4 turrets in this push. The slow, the damage. Apexi forced to flash over the pillar. Got even more damage coming through. Now the inhibitor gonna fall 25 minutes in. Baby Zeus still looking for harassment. And they back out as the rest of the team respawn.
They didn't just take Baron, but they played that perfectly. They realized the power spike that Baby Zeus had with the Rod of Ages stacking up and the fact that he had the Seraph's Embrace already done. 8-0 and 3. He's doing immense work for his team right now on that Kassadin. First picked it.
Yep.
Didn't care what it was played into. Even if it is somebody that is all physical damage and doesn't get
Fought a Jace, didn't care.
Yeah. So this Kassadin would basically be as strong as he is now as live.
Yeah. I mean, with the exception that we would block damage from Elise and Morgana, but generally speaking, he's not like dying in fights anyway. Rod of Ages, Seraph's a heavy mana build actually. He's actually out of mana right now, so
hit a champion.
Use that W. Yeah, seriously. As soon as he lands a W, he'll get part of that bar back.
Big part of that bar, missing mana.
The interesting thing for Nien, he's actually splitting points between W and E, the Frozen Domain and the Pillar. I've seen so many different Toronto builds. I've seen some 3 points Q than max W. This one 5 points Q, splitting points W and E. Again, there's the Pillar there. Good damage to Bob. He's going to have to try to knock him back. Black Shield comes out. Finally gets the knockback to keep him safe.
Even with the Muramana completed and toggled on, Bobchin doesn't want anything to do with that. He had the flash, had the ignite, waiting for the Trundle to get away, forcing him back.
Yeah, that's scary. I mean, when you're a fed top laner, and this is what I like about Trundle, especially when you get a little bit ahead, is you tend to think of Trundle as a bit of an immobile champion, right? No move blocks, it's only move speed, but like the dude pillars you and gains like 40% move speed. The guy actually is pretty good at catching individual targets. He doesn't dive back lines well, he doesn't get through disruption, but in terms of one-on-ones, the guy will pin you down.
Yeah, he's extremely potent. Very good duelist with his subjugate chomp. One of the better ones in the game, like just straight up.
He's an S-tier duelist for sure.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And the fact that we saw it there required help for Bobchin, who was doing well throughout the entire early game and was transitioning it into the mid game.
Well, you mentioned it. You said he was giving up CS in order to harass, and because of that, though, he was forcing Kassadin to chug through so many potions. The fact that he went Cloth 5 meant, okay, he chugs through that 175 gold, but Cass kept up in CS. Like, yes, he was losing the lane because he's losing gold chugging pots, but like, you know, when you can think back to the Jace versus Jax matchup from the game before, right?
Yeah.
Double the CS lead, got a turret dive from his teammate, knocked the guy down, got the turret off as well. That was not what we saw here. Yet Bobchin played well, but he certainly didn't dominate.
Baby Zeus, on the other hand,
doing friggin' awesome.
Dominating this game. Has more kill participation than Neon Tanso now.
Actually, he's technically legendary now with 8-0.
That's true.
Dominating was a couple kills ago.
Okay, he's legendary. He's doing crazy stuff here, and it's Kassadin. So still a little bit ban-worthy.
Yeah.
People were skeptical about the new Kassadin.
We still see it banned occasionally, and yeah, people are playing this well. The new and changed Rift Walk, people got used to it. Pretty good at the champion now.
I remember talking to Scar, and he was saying, yeah, no, it's all about the new Kassadin.
It's a good champ, man. He's super fun.
Yeah, the lower cooldown on his ultimate as well.
By the end of the rank, yeah.
You just got to play it a little differently.
Yeah, you've got to be very conscious of your mana pool, which is good. It's a good change.
W management, 12, not that hard.
Well, I mean, 1,200 mana Rs, though, is pretty expensive if you're spamming it too much.
Yeah. Well, everybody will spam it as much as they possibly can.
Yep.
Such a great ability.
That's cool for us. So here we go. Soul's grabbed up by Baby Eater.
So Neon Tanso's back to the split push. He has the teleport available, but so does iKenny but iKenny is nowhere near that to help him out. Baron's up in 1:20. I assume that they're going to start warding up that area again in favor of Frank Fang Gaming. Here is the blue buff to Baby Zeus.
So he's doing all kinds of well for himself. Close to 16. Gets about a quarter level off the blue buff itself. Dragon, 35 seconds away. Baron, another 30 seconds after that one. blue buff now owned by FFG. They're taking their time, saying, look, we own the map. Let's grab all the buffs. Let's grab all the gold. And then once that's off the map, so that if you do kill us, there's nothing to take, then we'll do the push.
Yeah, Niantanso up in the top lane, and this is part of the push too. He's now made it so that this lane is all the way up. He's 3 levels up on iCannyU, who first blooded him.
Yeah. Teamwork there on the top lane. Working pretty nicely. Some little bit of harassment. Baby Zeus does get fined, though. This is a bit sketchy. Cocoon will land as well. Good damage comes through. Baby Zeus has to Zonia's. Now can Elise go in for it? Gets Mikhail's, dodge the shock blast, but Seraph Shield is going to be all right.
That was the combo right there. Didn't come up completely perfectly with the Cocoon into the Dark Binding. But you can see right there that the power of that. Baby Zeus out of mana, even with the blue buff.
Gotta be careful, man. It was only rank 2 Rift Walk as well, so it's a 5-second, not a 3-second cooldown.
Yeah.
Pretty big difference there. It allowed the stuff to hit. So Dragon and Baron now on the map, and the fact is actually FFG, that was actually hype. That was actually too aggressive because they gave up the map control over Dragon Baron because Cass had to go back to base, heal back up. They couldn't just rush on the Dragon. They couldn't set up a Baron bait. They've got to wait 30 seconds for Cass to reset, and it's like you just miss an opportunity for a 400 damage trade.
Yeah, just the back and forth here. These teams are very evenly matched across the board.
Yeah,
but Frank Fang Gaming, they have that edge now because of the plays that Niantanso was able to make and the fact that Captain Ziploc visited top very early and swung it back in their favor. And then Baby Zeus kept coming top too. And then Niantanso's like, all right, I was a puppy. You raised me up to a dog, and now I'm just going to go bottom lane and ravage everybody.
Yeah, now he's the alpha dog at this point, and he's destroying guys. And that was interesting. It is Troll Town. It is Troll Town now. You're absolutely correct about that one. And that's interesting to me. Is like, you had the first gank be Lee Sin, and that was very effective, and it worked. It was awesome. Grats to Captain Ziploc. Still Captain, not Admiral. But yeah, the rest of those ganks were Cassidy rooms for the most part. It was Cassidy rooms. And this is a lane that was supposed to be locked down in, right? He got counterpicked by Jace. Air quotes counterpicked because it didn't really shut him down very much. And then Cassidy gets to roam out of his lane, not get really punished for it, and in turn kills around elsewhere. They got top lane tier 1 because of a Lee Sin gank. They got top lane tier 2 because of a Cassidy gank. Like, you're allowing this to happen and nothing's stopping it. Like, that is not good if you're XVT, right? Like, you can't let these kind of things happen. Of course, now you're at the point where, well, Cassidy's 8-0 now. Like, you didn't shut him down the lane. You let him get the roams. These things all just happened. You had some kind of pushes from XVT, but like the guy left lane so much, I'm gonna say push lane, like more turrets should be dead, more of the jungle should be owned. That should swing in a bottom lane at some point, and these things didn't happen when he left lane.
Yeah.
Just rough situation to be in.
It's a very, very rough situation to be in. And the fact that the roaming of Baby Zeus and the fact he got Kassadin first rotation, first pick.
Yeah.
A lot of confidence in that champion. He's played it throughout season 3, 4, then kind of dropped it for a bit and he picked it back up.
Yeah.
Just basically it's a signature champion for him, actually. It's basically like giving Cheesed Beluga Kassadin, or I guess X-Peke Kassadin. I'll put it that way. Cheesed Beluga's a little more
underground.
Little more challenger scene. Like,
get it? Because belugas are ocean.
They're underwater, not underground. Okay.
Below sea level.
Close. Okay.
Below sea level.
Okay, if you're gonna go get that specific on it, then yes, I'll give you that one. Just barely though. Just barely.
Anyway, sorry. Continue.
No, that's it. I'm done. I'm not in the mood anymore.
I've destroyed your ability to commentate with like one of the. What was that out of 10? Like a 4.5.
It's a negative.
There's a negative.
It was possible.
Well, yeah, because it's below sea
bad.
level.
It was incorrect.
It was below sea level.
The beluga's underground, right? Okay.
I mean, if they're fossils, sure.
Okay.
Why not?
But it's Baby Zeus, though. So he's obviously in the heavens.
True.
And that's where his score is, too. He's legendary.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what it last was, but
you could definitely say he's godlike.
Yes. That one's actually a little bit better.
That was good.
A little bit better.
That was pretty good.
I can give you a little bit on that one.
Oh, I appreciate that.
No, a little bit more than before. So
only -2.
Where's Baby Eater and all this stuff?
He was eating souls the whole time.
Okay, yeah, he did play.
And he's killing minions, which are like little babies in the lanes. So
we're getting pretty graphic here. Stealing the souls of babies.
Wow. Sure, why not? So okay, breaking this game down. I mean, honestly, the thing is like this game. I feel like it's slipping away. It's slipping away from XVG Virtus. It just. The lanes didn't really work out. Kenny, you got that first point. That was awesome. I loved the play. It worked out so well. He manipulated the waves, recalled at a certain amount of gold, used the TP to get back in the lane to fight with a power spike that was great. It was wonderful. Kenny Yu showing he's a good individual player. But it bit him. He didn't get any counter ganks. I haven't seen Proof do anything this game.
Yeah. Proof didn't really go top at all. He went bottom for a bit, but he was behind at the start, so he couldn't gank top very early on. Kenny got the solo first blood, and then because he didn't have that blue buff, it kind of threw off his entire timing.
Yeah.
And it was a try buff for Captain Ziploc.
Yeah.
Who abused that.
He's
like, I have red for a longer duration. I'm going to go visit top. And then he was able to pull it off. So it was big shout-outs to him on that one because it's just the way that they invaded and took the blue away was very decisive, and they knew what they were going to get out of it.
Yeah.
So it freed up top. And even if Proof had shown up top lane during that gank, it would have gone in the favor of Niantanso still.
Sure.
Because the fact that he was behind a level and because it's a Lee Sin so early on, still does really, really well for himself. And then when Baby Zeus started making it up there, they just put all their attention.
It's actually interesting to think about, actually. I wanna like, let's just like break down the level 1 because it actually did a lot, right? So you're absolutely right. It was a 3-buff start versus a 1-buff start. So Captain Ziploc is very far ahead of Proof. Straight up, that situation, right? You got to spend time top lane and not get behind in gold because of it. The interesting thing, though, is because XVG kind of did this selfish buff start, like they cut a lot of corners, right? They had at least do it by herself.
Yeah.
Kenny got to his lane very early on. He killed the entire first wave before Nian made it up there. So the entire time, Aurelia's got a level lead. The entire time she's going to continually have a level lead. And actually that paid out when he TP'd back into lane. Like some of that was the gold lead from, again, getting those minions and TPing in and all that stuff. But also it was the fact that he's got about a 5-minion lead because he got to lane first, right? He sacrificed his jungle, and okay, the guy lost a buff because of it, but that actually level 1, or the 1-to-1 first blood at level 6 and 7, was actually for leaving the jungle early.
Yeah, and now we see both Dragon and Baron are up. We're back in the game. Batman's got himself a nice little red buff before this fight starts up, and this is pretty much do or die for XVT. They could get the Baron with a steal, but at the same time, Baby Zeus.
We've seen a lot of Baron steals
today. So scary.
All right,
so really scary.
5,500 gold deficit right now. Frank Fang Gaming not looking at Dragon. They could have gotten it if Casson weren't chunked, but that was their reality here. They jump in over the wall, some good damage towards Proof. They get a lantern and a trophy to be sure. Nice flash gets away from the hook.
Speaking of getting chunked, Baby Zeus.
Ooh,
that's aggressive.
Q Ignite, that was crazy.
With the blue buff and the fact that he has the rank 2 Rift Walk. Just went in, flashed, and then he was able to Rift Walk out by that.
Well, FFG, they're going to start up on Baron right now. Baby Eater trying to zone out for his team. The team's got to back out on this one, though. Looks like they're going to have to piece away from this one. There we go, FFG now again back with the Frozen Domain. They're looking to control Baron as best they can. 8-killed lead. They're going in for Baron. They're going to take a lot of damage in this one. Proof is around in the walls. There comes the repel. The smite is picked up by Proof. He's going to flash the wall. He might get away. No, picked up by Lee Sin, but they trade one back for it. 1-for-1 battle. Now Bobchin gets exploded. Baby are going to trade his life for that one. Now Apexi under fire flashes the wall. Kenny Yu in the front lines. Can he get away? He's got almost nowhere to go, but with Summoner Heal, he just might get out. The slow does not land from Baby Zeus. Niantanso low on health. They got to play this one right. He's got to be careful with this one. Kenny Yu goes in, gets the shutdown. Baby Zeus forced to zone his Latman around Kenny Yu. Can he get anything else? No! He gets blown up there by Baby Zeus. Otter gonna lose the trade as well. Ace comes in, only 2 men alive, but Baron grabbed from XVT.
Wow. That was a 5 for 3 in the overall. The Baron did go to them, but now all the people who had Baron buff were gone.
Yeah,
you don't get temporary combat stats. It's just gold, experience, all that goodness, and they keep it away from Frank Fang Gaming.
Wow. So unfortunately, the pause. Sorry about that, guys. Looks like I've seen Captain Ziploc reconnect a couple of times, so it might be on him.
You missed the smite. You gotta back out for a second.
You gotta rage quit when you miss a smite like that. Okay, so 2 guys alive, right? So you can basically forget that Baron happened now. It's just Baron's off the map for 7 minutes. That's all it means at this point. The golds that have been tallied up, the buffs are off the map. It's just, okay, it respawns in 7 minutes. Here's the gold lead, here's the champions. Top lane siege is going to be the goal now. You've got 2 guys with some health against 40-second death timers. I got to expect that inhib goes down.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure about it, but...
Oh, actually, those shorter death timers than I thought. Elise is already back.
She's back. Bobchin's about to be back. If Baby Zeus overstays, then he will get picked off.
Wow, and
yeah,
they have to
prove
peace out.
Here to defend.
Okay, so I was wrong on the respawn. It's 20 seconds to on Lucian and Aurelia, but the first 2 already back there. It will be a red buff steal. That's good for Latman.
So I was looking at that fight and they could have picked up Baby Zeus. It was weird. Kenny's positioning could have been a little bit better during the Zonias.
Oh, and just stay on top of him?
Yeah, because he was just taking Latman's poke, and then he kept walking towards Latman, who was already walking back. So if he had walked back to the area where Baby Zeus was, and then what you do is you split Kassadin, you put one on the left of him, one on the right.
Yeah.
So that he can't hit both of you with force pulls.
Yeah.
You force him to go one direction.
Well, we're going to see right this one, though. Baby, they're just going to go for a hook to try to steal it. There's a chance. There's no smite right here.
Can he do it? The wind up. And
nope. Tormented Soil. Finding comes in a little bit late, but that is Dragon going to XVT. So now 3.7 thousand gold. Not a gigantic number here. Less than 10% to me is always enough for you to make the pretty straightforward comeback.
You know, it's a pretty gigantic number right now is the kill participation for Baby Zeus being 11-0 and 5. And so is his KDA.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm going to say that's pretty useful for him. I mean, the first game he played yesterday was 2-1 and 11, so he's adding an 11-0 and 5 to that one. And that's like a 30-ish KDA. Not exactly a bad score for the Challenger Series so far. Now being one of the main split pushers, getting rid of this top lane there. Zonia's, of course, already done. Death Cap going to be added soon. I would assume Void Staff last. Mortius there for Bobchin. So more AD added and some MR to keep himself alive. No Brutalize though. So no, not a ton of CDR, just the cooldown.
And now we see, yeah, like you said, Mortius. The cooldown boots are kind of standard on Jace.
Yeah, they are.
Nothing really else is going to help you. Berserker Greaves, you already have max attack speed. Doesn't really have anything to Merc Tread from.
One thing I'm actually surprised about is, I know it's the standard build now, but Proof is going for the CDR release build. Because you mentioned in the very beginning of the game, it's a physical damage heavy team. They're not going to build much MR. You can see there's 0 MR items aside from the Mikhail's Crucible. You could go Sword Haunting on this Elise and be a significant damage threat in fights.
Yeah, they are going more for the lockup, apparently.
Yeah,
they aren't looking
I know
for
that,
damage threat, which, yeah, I understand that. They just don't have it. And that's not what their mindset is. But they are gonna they're gonna fall off. Because if they're just building all armor,
yep,
the Frozen Heart's already out for the Aurelia. The Randuins, and it looks like he'll go for a Sunfire Cape or a Warmogs next.
Got to be one of the two. Double Randuins. Okay, Hook's going to land on a Bobchin. Good early damage. Baby Zeus with the shield on. Takes a little bit more damage away from this one. Bobchin already goes down to 1-for-1. There was Thresh Balls. Now Latman forced to run away in the back lines. Kenny, nice block out with the pillar. Keeps him safe. Baby Zeus peeling back as well. So far, still the 1-for-1. The regen coming to try to keep them alive. Now Apexi gets kicked into the team. A couple of knockups there. Proof goes down. More damage coming through. There's going to be a dead inhibitor. The push in. Baby Zeus stunned in turret range, though. Will he stay alive? Yes, with Seraphs, he will. Kenny locked up now as well. Captain Ziploc, he is going to fall for that one, but now nobody alive for XVT versus 3 remaining members. Frank Fang Gaming pushing through the inhibitor, down onto the Nexus. They're going to take the last game of the day in 34 minutes and 50 seconds, and they are into the round of 8.
And it's a 12-0-9 Baby Zeus on Kassadin.
Yeah.
His main squeeze right there. And he made some great roams and survived the laning phase versus Jace, who was poking him out constantly at the start.
Yeah.
He went up top, and then he ended up getting the Intanso going, who just continued to split push. And then they ended the game off of their combined efforts and their combined fantastic scores.
Ludicrously good scores. 12-0-9 on Kassadin, 6-2-14 on Trundle, 4-2-11 on Corki, 2-3-9. Hey, he got his team going on Lee Sin. You know, that was all right. 4-11 on Thresh, still again just there to initiate fights. But yeah, the major carry forces, massive showings by those guys. That was awesomely great.
Yeah, and although the XVT lineup, the XDG Virtus is out, there's still XDG GG in the round of 8 in 2 weeks.
Yep.
So this isn't the main XDG roster, but not to take away from that, Frank Fang Gaming come out on top. And Frank Fang was also the manager for Denial, so he had at least one of his teams go through. It'd be a really, really bad day if both of your teams get knocked out.
Yeah. Well, didn't happen in this one.
No.
So, okay. Individual play, I think, really won the day there. I think the teams we saw today overall, a lot of glimmers of greatness, a lot of, I think, at least a few like weird situations. It's the kind of thing where it's like, generally speaking, when that big wave shows up at 7 minutes, or yeah, about 7 minutes when you do the 2-on-1 swaps or the 4v0 swaps, those are typically sources of action, and we didn't always see that today, actually. I think if you had like SKT doing it or OMG doing it, that would be like a 5-man tower dive. and like something weird would go down. Like even CLG Prime actually, I guess CLG now there's no other CLG roster, but they used to be CLG Prime. They were talking about like, yeah, you actually don't want to freeze. You typically don't want to freeze after the 4v0 because you can do something with that push.
Yes.
Now that depends on teleport cooldowns and other things going on. It is possible to play the freeze right, but generally speaking, those pushes should create opportunities. And right now, at least from the teams we saw, teams are just holding it. They're donating farm. And I mean, the holds are pretty good, right? It's like, hey, let's have Shyvana hold bottom, then she TPs top, and she'll carry the game by herself. Those kind of work, but there's still, I think, some room for a lot of these teams.
There's a lot of room for improvement with a lot of these teams, but it is the round of 10. They have a lot of time for the round of 8, and they can step up their game in 2 weeks.
Yes. That's going to be the test, right? This is the goal is LCS. Can you improve to the point where you're an LCS contender? That's the test for these guys. Well, guys, that's it for the Summer 2014 North American Challenger Series round of 10 play-in. But the round of 8 begins in 2 weeks when they start playing best of 3s. Former LCS team XDG will take on Frank Fang Gaming to maybe avenge their teammates in the first quarterfinal on May 31st. And 2 of today's victors will go head-to-head when Team LawPro goes up against Area of Effect June 1st.
And the quarterfinals continue on June 7th when Team Coast plays Team Green Forest in a best-of-3 matchup. And then on June 8th, Cloud9 Tempest takes on Curse Academy.
A lot of known names here. It's going to be a whole bunch of fun to watch these guys. Now, the LCS, by the way, it's going to be back in 2 days with week 1 of the European Summer Split. Stock up on Poro Snacks and settle in for our coverage, beginning 4:30 p.m. Central European Summer Time, 7:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time with the LCS Preview Show. It's everything you need to know about the LCS right before Fnatic takes on SK Gaming. Now, with that, we've reached the end of our time together this weekend, but before we go, I want to say thanks again to our friends at Coca-Cola. Now for myself, Zyrene, the entire live broadcast crew, thanks for watching. Good night. GG. Small level lead though for the early because of this. The trade goes in. Big damage in the end. He's got to be careful. The dash on in. First blood. Yep.
Baby Zeus will once again go in.
Jumps in, finds the kill in the first one. Can they keep chasing? There's the end off of the wings as well. Big damage comes through. Wow. Latman finds one back. 3 kills so far picked up. Make that 4 kills. They're going in for Baron. They're going to take a lot of damage in this one. Proof is around and the walls. There comes the repel. The smite is picked up by Proof. He's going to flash the wall. He might get away. No, picked up by Lee Sim, but they trade one back for it.